is in the know for Monday, February 7th, the 38th day of 2022. There are 327 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud iTunes podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country, and we set sail through a big week sports-wise. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. He is the five-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the two-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Moscow, Paris, and even Morgantown. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I think you probably. I'm okay. Got something, and
I can tell.
Got sick daughter at home, and so wife at home, and all that stuff. So that's all right. I figure you are singing the song this week. You're waiting all week for Sunday night.
Yeah, you could say that, especially because it is an NBC broadcast as well. But
the countdown is on to Super Bowl 56. You're excited?
I don't know that excited's the word. I don't know what word I want to use to describe it. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm like a mix of a bunch of different emotions. Just because, I mean, typically I'd be like, oh yeah, the Super Bowl's coming up. This is awesome. But when your team is actually in it, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, I guess there's some angst.
Yes.
There's some, obviously there's jitters, there's excitement.
Cautious optimism.
There's put me out of my misery. I just need to get to the point and see what's going to happen. And then there's, of course, looking forward to all the food and everything as well. So
I'll be too nervous to even eat anything.
See, your friends at Skyline were giving away beanies.
I did see that. I did see that. And it's interesting because, like I've said, Skyline's the Reds, Gold Star's the Bengals. So I'm not sure if there might be a little.
I don't know. Don't want to mojo things. I've got some interesting facts about Super Bowl 56 later on in the show that I think you might find interesting. Cold front today will keep us chilly. We are going to, speaking of chilly, this one ends in a Y instead of an I. We are going to stay. There's an outside chance we may not get to that 41 degree mark today. We could top out around 39. We could get to 40. We're going to see a little bit of sunshine today, but then cold tonight again. Not cold like we saw over the weekend, but down into, we'll maybe get down to a 23 tonight. Mostly sunny and then 50 tomorrow. That'll feel nice, even warmer on Wednesday. It'll be 54. And so this week is, pay no attention to that thing on Friday. That precipitation that you're looking at, our friends at Wave are considering for Friday is not really for our portions of their coverage area. The good news is that we're not dealing with any type of winter storm this week or snow event for the first time in 3 or 4 weeks. So
let's just keep it that way.
Let's just leave it that way, and let's just try and get through. We made it past Groundhog Day, so let's just go ahead and get beyond Valentine's Day without any more snow.
Super Bowl,
and then next thing you know, it'll be the middle of February, and go, wow, I can see March from here, and things start to.
I'd be fine if it never snowed again.
Well, I don't want to say never snow again. I know there are important people that like snow, so I don't want them
I fully admit that, no, I do not agree with them whatsoever.
Well, but they're entitled to to get their snow from time to time.
As I was told once by a teacher, you're allowed to have your opinion, but it's wrong.
I've had some teachers like that. Of course, the world's watching the Olympic Games in Beijing, and you're seeing the relationship between China and Putin, and if you got Russia that's poised and seemingly making threatening overtures at Ukraine, the United States still saying that Russia could invade Ukraine any day, launching a conflict that would come at an enormous human cost, because there's going to be some shooting involved. Is my belief. I don't see any other way around it at this point. They say that if war breaks out, it will come at an enormous human cost to Ukraine, but we believe that based on our preparations and our response, it will come at a strategic cost to Russia as well. That was Jake Sullivan, who is a national security advisor. He's making the rounds yesterday and announced. So it will be odd where you've got the world gathered in Beijing, and even something as simple as the Russian team, Russian Olympic Committee. There's not really Russia that's competing. The athletes from Russia.
What, they got suspended for doping? Isn't that it or something?
Hard to believe that. I mean, if you're going to get suspended for doping, throw them all out. I don't know why they get to, compete under some
cross country skiing, and their two guys were winning.
And then they had, So anyway, that's a rabbit hole. But it will be interesting how just on Friday night, Putin was in Beijing. Our Friday night, Putin was in Beijing for the opening ceremonies, along with Xi Jinping and all that other stuff. So it just would be really weird for there to be a breakout of war in Europe along the Ukraine-Russia border while you've got the world's athletes gathered under this banner of peace and harmony in Beijing. So I don't know what to make of it, but all right. Some of the other news headlines from the weekend. If you're like me on Friday night, your Apple devices and not just your Apple devices, your cell phones probably did something abnormal and alerted you to an Amber Alert that stemmed from a Bardstown man accused of killing his girlfriend and then fled with her small children. They arrested him in Mount Vernon, Illinois. On Friday night, officials issued an Amber Alert for the four boys ages 10, 9, 6, and just a year old after they found their mother murdered about 5:30 during a welfare check there in Bardstown. Officers responded to the home after receiving a 911 call from a witness who saw a man and the four children leave together in a vehicle. They identified 32-year-old Richard Gray as a suspect. So Friday night about 11:15, they arrested him and in Mount Vernon, Illinois, so 80 miles southeast of St. Louis or so. So he had fled from the Bardstown area, but it was...
I went to bed a little early Friday, and I'd just fallen asleep. And that obviously woke me up. And it's kind of one of those dazes because it doesn't happen often, obviously.
Of course, we had the Amber Alert here, but then it's, now no matter what you're doing in your car, it should come through, and then your devices as well. And so not very often that happens. And so it gets your, when it gets your attention like that. So,
which is good because that's what it's supposed to do.
It's supposed to get your attention and make you aware of something. This was sad. I bring this to you because these types of things can happen during these weather conditions. 2 people were found dead Friday night at a LaGrange hotel that had to be evacuated due to elevated carbon monoxide levels. It was really saddened to hear about that. Carbon monoxide levels in the building of the Quality Inn Suites in LaGrange were high, resulting in an evacuation. Police said one man who was exhibiting signs of carbon monoxide poisoning was transported to a local hospital, and then 2 victims as well. So you don't really think of that in a hotel setting.
No, I'm curious as to, I know that I read that they're investigating more. I'm interested to see as to what the cause is.
I also was saddened. I think I saw a headline, and it may be our headline from earlier this morning. There were a total of 4 different murder-suicide events in Kentucky over the weekend.
Correct. You had one in Taylorsville.
Yeah.
One in Nicholasville.
One in Warren County.
Yes, and then there's one more. I can see if I can find it.
Wow, what a weekend. Police say they have found 2 people shot dead on a porch in Taylorsville. The state police say they discovered the fatal shooting seen Friday afternoon at the home in Spencer County outside of Louisville. Police say their preliminary investigation found a 51-year-old Karen Young of Taylorsville suffered a fatal gunshot wound. 55-year-old Paul Bewley of Taylorsville sustained a self-inflicted fatal gunshot injury. Police said the 2 were lying on the front porch of a residence when officers found them. They're investigating that incident.
Lexington was the other one.
Lexington was the other. In Warren County, the man shot the female and then called dispatch and said what he had done. And by the time the police officers were there, he had taken his own life based upon various reports that I was seeing out of Warren County. So I don't know why. I mean, that's a tremendously above average, right? We would go to hear of one is a lot. So for there to be 4 over a short period of time,
It's terrible.
is very tragic. A Kentucky judicial panel has nominated 3 attorneys as candidates for a vacant family court judge seat in Hardin County. The Judicial Nominating Commission recommended Elizabethtown attorneys Melanie Goff Biggers, Dawn Blair, and Teresa Elaine Logston, according to a statement of the AOC. Biggers and Blair serve as assistant county attorneys. Logston serves as an assistant Commonwealth attorney. One of the reasons I mention it is because Teresa Logston is a product of Grayson County. So she was, I believe she was in the Grayson County High School class of 1992.
Okay.
Would be, I think that's
So
I think that's
about
accurate.
when Misty, right?
Misty was in the class of 93.
93, okay.
My sister Martha was in the class of 92.
Okay.
So I think I've got those dates right on that. But yeah, I know that Teresa and my sister Martha are the same age. That seat became available when Judge Pamela Addington's resignation took effect on February 1st. Those 3 names sent to the governor, and the governor has 60 days to make an appointment to that seat. I mean, you know who I'm rooting for, right? I mean,
You going to call Andy later and give him your endorsement? Or do you think his
probably.
endorsement probably,
He doesn't need
your endorsement probably doesn't mean much to him? You think?
Of course it means a lot, but he doesn't need it. He'll make the right decision. In this case, I've got confidence. The Legislative Research Commission, comprised of House and Senate leaders, has been fighting the Lexington Herald leader's open records request into records of a sexual harassment complaint against a state lawmaker for about 4 years. On Friday, the Kentucky Court of Appeals ruled that the Open Records Act entitles the newspaper to view the complaint made by a legislative staffer in 2015 against former state representative Jim Stewart III of any resulting investigation. The newspaper agreed the staffer's name could be redacted. The appeals court verdict upheld an earlier ruling from 2020 when Franklin Circuit Judge Philip Shepard ruled for the Herald leader to get the documents and have its legal fees reimbursed by the LRC. In its Friday ruling, the appeals court said lawmakers can't use their new law retroactively to conceal documents. Listen, the relationship between the messengers of our community and the legislators and the leaders of our community is an important one. Both need to be playing by the rules and doing the right thing, by the way. And they need to be acting responsibly. But what some legislatures are doing and have made attempts to do to shut off the access to public information, that they may be able to get by with that temporarily, but that's not going to stand up to legal challenge, which it's only a matter of time. This one was easier for the Court of Appeals because this one didn't apply because of a new law. So they could go back and say, no, you got to give these over because even at the time. Well, if you move forward, we're going to eventually get to a case where the legislature in Kentucky basically decided they get to decide through a bipartisan panel what information they turn loose about HR matters, if you will, at the legislative level. Well, a court somewhere says, no, you have to do, you can't just shut down the access to the information. So
My thing with it is simple: is who do you work for? Them?
That's exactly right. Grants totaling nearly $1 million will be distributed to 18 Kentucky counties to help clean up 80 illegal dumps. Counties receiving grants must agree to provide a 25% match, but the state could waive the local match requirements for cleanups that cost more than $50,000. Counties receiving the grants, the ones that are close to you, you would know as Butler, you would know as Greene, you would know as Hart, you would know as Warren. Those are counties that are getting some funds to clean up dumps. I didn't figure there were any dumps anywhere we knew of. know that there's no litter, nobody dumps illegally in any of the communities we know.
Never. That's never happened before ever.
Another exciting night in the SEC on Saturday as the University of Kentucky Wildcats, the then number 5 Kentucky Wildcats, traveled to Tuscaloosa, where it was another. The game against Vandy, Coach Cal, Sam, he described it as a rock fight. Mm-hmm. This was more of a heavyweight title match.
I liked Tom Hart's description of it on ESPN. I don't know if you were listening to it at that point, but he described it as it was like the two town drunks. They were fighting one another, and they both left bloodied.
Yeah, well,
they were both landed punches, but neither one could finish the other one off.
I heard that reference. It struck me as a little bit odd.
But it does, but at the same time, I was like, oh, well, I guess that's not inaccurate.
Well, neither team looked particularly drunk to me, so that's why I didn't... That's why I was like, I don't understand what he's trying to say.
I think he just wanted to drop an Otis reference.
I think so. I do think that it was good to see Damian Collins getting finding a very strategic opportunity for him to find a role to where he can be valuable going forward and down the stretch. I really like how this team is shaping up because I saw somebody else, it wasn't Seth Davis, somebody else from the ESPN brand that said, great thing about Kentucky is they can beat you 95-90 or they can beat you 65-60.
That was Seth Davis.
It was Seth Davis?
Yeah, from CBS.
Yeah, so I saw his poll yesterday, and I kind of think that because he had Kentucky in his poll like at 3 behind Gonzaga and Auburn. So, yeah, I mean, I like, again, their ability to go on the road, play in hostile environments, and they took Alabama's game away from them. Alabama wanted to run. Mm-hmm. That was the only chance Alabama really had. And so they said, no, we don't want to run. We want to lock you down and play possession basketball. And they, did a pretty good job of it. In Syracuse, the Louisville men's basketball team still can't seem to get off the wrong track. They lost to Syracuse. The final is escaping me at the moment. It wasn't close. And
I was gonna say, I didn't watch. I know Pegues wasn't happy with the team and all that afterwards. I saw that, but
yeah. Then Grayson County and Butler County on Friday night, doubleheader. Actually, didn't play until Saturday afternoon. Scheduled for Friday originally. How was your trip to Morgantown, Sam?
We can just talk about the games. I mean, trips to Morgantown are always trips to Morgantown.
Okay, let's talk about the games then.
No, Lady Cougars played really well. You look at the final score, I don't have it in front of me, but it was by, I think, 17 points. The game was a lot closer than that. And I know Coach Johnson was very happy with his team's performance because that game did solidify that the Lady Cougars will play the Lady Bears in the first round of the district 2 weeks from today. And I think he felt good about his team of just playing well. And I think they found some things that they might be able to throw in 2 weeks to try and, I mean, that'd be a huge upset against who is the favorite in the district. And then the second game, the Cougar boys played a great first quarter. And then Butler County pretty much dominated the second and third quarter and then ended up winning by 5 points down the stretch. Cougars just came out in the second half kind of lethargic, just not their greatest performance. And so they came away with a district loss, which is a big one. And now the Cougars host Edmondson tonight in this is a huge district game for them at 7 o'clock, and the Lady Cougars head to Thomas Nelson, 6:30 Central. So good luck to them. We'll have the coverage of the boys' game, obviously.
So you got JV game, too, I guess, that got added tonight.
Correct.
But Grayson County, Edmondson County, so almost like a future preview of what future varsity contests might look like between those two teams, but a lot at stake on the line tonight. So we'll hope that the Cougars can be victorious as they
need a win.
Wildcats come to. It's weird for these two teams to be playing on a Monday night. That's normally
without a girls game in there.
Normally something you build up all week to, and so here it is out here on a Monday. So best of luck to the Cougars tonight. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Are you missing an opportunity for growth in your current role? Join Coremark, and you'll be encouraged to explore new directions and challenged to increase your skills and impact. We believe the power by one is strengthened by all. Our positions are motivated by supportive management, competitive employees to meet their full potential. We offer night shift starting pay varying from $12 an hour to $17 an hour. Our order selector position responsibilities include, but aren't limited to, pulling orders, consolidating merchandise, and moving into picking containers. Full case positions operate an electric pallet jack in order to fulfill their orders accordingly to their delivery route and run list. If you are not trained on our equipment, training and a certification will be provided. Forklift driver position duties include stocking the warehouse in order to fulfill orders, assist in production flow, and supplying assistance to the production lines as needed. Core-Mark offers a $2,000 sign-on bonus as well as competitive benefits. Apply now at careers.core-mark.com or call 270-259-9341, extension 5420.
Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center needs your help. The 2022 Community Health Needs Assessment for Grayson County is underway, and we want to know what health needs are most important to you. The more we know, the better we can care for our community. Go to owensborohealth.org/Twin Lakes Survey to participate in this anonymous survey, or stop by the hospital to pick up a copy. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center. Help us build a healthier Grayson County.
The price of Amazon Prime is going up a couple of bucks to $15 per month or $139 for the year. The higher rates kick in February 18th for new customers, but they won't take effect for existing customers until they renew after March 25th. Amazon says prices are going up as they continue to increase their fleet of Prime perks. Google is out with a new Chromebook repair program for education. A new website identifies devices with commonly repaired components like the keyboard, display, and palm rest. The new guides will show educators how to repair devices, find tools to safely fix them, get replacement parts, and find training. Facebook is adding some personal boundaries to their virtual world to fight harassment. Parent company Meta says avatars in its Horizon Worlds virtual reality spaces will have a bubble with a radius of 2 virtual feet so users can feel safe. Avatars will still be able to move past each other so they don't get trapped in a corner or a doorway. Tech Report, Larry Olson, NBC.
Get real with the fever on the dance floor. Now who got the fever for the flame? Who can think the way that I flex on a track?
Today is Fettuccine Alfredo Day.
You like fettuccine Alfredo?
Me too. I like chicken fettuccine Alfredo. So,
Some broccoli in there, too?
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff.
In fact, I had that for lunch in here on Saturday, a little frozen one. It was pretty
did?
good.
Was it one that I left in the freezer? Because that's normally what I would.
No,
You
it
got
was
your
one
own?
I brought from my own freezer.
Wave. It's Rose Day, marking the beginning of the Love Week, and it is wave all your fingers at your neighbor day today. Not just one. Wave all of them at your neighbor. I don't think it's supposed to be like that, Sam. I don't think you show them the back of your hand. I think you show them the palm of your hand, and then you wave at them. I think that may still be like intimidating. You don't want to be guilty of showing intimidating behavior.
Do we
toward
have to go to the county line tonight and wave it at Edmonson County and Butler County and all those?
Well, no. I mean, they're coming here, right?
Well, yeah. I guess should I just wave them at Edmonson County later?
Sure, that'd be fine. Games of the 24th Winter Olympiad underway.
I keep forgetting a song.
You're forgetting?
Yes.
Except
I'm
for
not as big of a fan as the Winter Olympics of the as the summer.
Except for watching the UK game Saturday evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I did watch CBS Sunday Morning yesterday morning.
Which I heard there was a great piece about left-handers.
There was a tremendous piece about left-handers on there. That's all I've watched. I mean, it's...
You mean you missed the Pro Bowl?
I missed every second of the Pro Bowl. Oh, I did watch a little bit of the NASCAR Clash yesterday.
I forgot
from
about
the
that,
LA
too.
Coliseum.
Now, how was that?
It's good. Yes, yeah, it's fine. It's different, historic place. It was all right. I was really geared up for Michaela Schifrin, and there's a chance that her program was going to include 5 different disciplines that she could compete for individual medals in, and she skied out of the 5th gate. So in her giant slalom, yesterday. Well, we saw it yesterday. Then coming out of the fifth gate, she was expected. This is not the slalom. Is her like if you got to pick one, is her ultimate specialty. But she's the build up to her has been a lot. So she got a DNF because it's a 2-run total. But if you don't complete your first run, then there's no way for you to finish. So I did see an interview with her. She said, she can't let it dominate. She wasn't masking the disappointment, but she also can't dwell because she's got four other events to prepare for and be ready.
I was watching like the first night, I think it was the slalom, and somebody fell and like that eliminated them or whatever. And I was just thinking, imagine training, your entire life for that one moment.
Yep.
And you fall. Like I can't imagine that.
Peng Shuai, the tennis player. So in the last 24 hours, her appearance around the Olympics, she's Chinese, of course. She was missing for a while. She had made some comments about sexual assault, and then no one could find her for a few weeks. The tennis community started, basically saying if the Chinese people didn't produce her, then they were going to, do this or do that. And so she finally surfaced a few weeks ago, shortly. But then she did an interview with Thomas Bach, the IOC chairman, and then she did an interview with a French newspaper, L'Equipe. But there were people of the Chinese IOC, the Chinese Olympic Committee, there with her, and it was a very controlled.
They were doing the translating, from what I understand.
Yeah, and she was saying that what her claims had been a huge misunderstanding, and she never said specifically that person had assaulted her, and there's something not exactly right there. It almost led me to wonder if she was blinking like Morse code at people trying to, like I'm being held against my will, or it just was weird. But that captured a lot of the attention at the games yesterday. But so far, so good. That Russian figure skater, she's 15. She's phenomenal.
She's the one that I saw a headline, the first ever to do. I couldn't even tell you what it was. And like I said, that's probably one of the reasons why I don't watch the Winter Olympics as much, is because I don't understand how you get points. Like they'll do something, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a 10, and then they'll be like, oh no, that's a 4. It's like how do you?
Well, here's something they've done brilliantly this year. Now on the screen, real time, they have the scoring. And so they put the metrics up there, and and it shows basically relative to par. So if this maneuver that they're about to do is worth a 4, then say baseline 4, then they put red or green and the score. And if you get a 4.7, then it turns green and it shows that you got 0.7 better than the baseline. And then they give you a running total at the top of the screen of your technical score so that you kind of get a better feel during the routine. So for someone who likes scoring and stats and things, this would really appeal to you. And it's made it more enjoyable for me because I can at least follow along.
I know in high school, I went to one high school wrestling match, and I felt really out of place because whenever I'd go to a sporting event, people would always come up to me in high school and be like, okay, what's happening? And I went to a high school match, and I was like, I have no idea what's happening. I don't understand this. I was like, I don't.
I will try and find it for you during the break, Sam. But the Russian pairs who did their, was it their free skate?
You mean the Russian Olympic Committee?
They are still Russian.
Are they?
The Russian pair had a big fall, had a big takedown.
Oh, no.
And within a few minutes, someone on Twitter, had taken Jim Ross, who is the announcer from the WWF days, and took his commentary and used it to describe the play-by-play of the fall.
Yeah.
And it delighted me because it does look like a big takedown. So anyway, that I don't know what's on the Olympics tonight, but it'll be fine. Between USA and Peacock and NBC, and it's on 24 hours a day because the stuff that's live will be shown in primetime tonight.
You'll have to throw something up there during the break. Or you get
Yeah, I
too
could.
distracted?
No, well, yeah, I might.
Well, I remember
might get
because
caught
during the
watching.
summer when I think you were gone, we were hosting, and I always loved it because at this time, since it was happening, it was all of the events that were running, not live, obviously, because it was the middle of the night in Tokyo, and we just got to see the most random events. And it was nice, like climbing and everything.
I can't wait to see monobob. I've never seen single person bobsled before. I want to see that.
The luge is the
Looking
one that
forward to.
I like.
I did enjoy the luge this weekend.
Oh, I missed it.
Super Bowl 56. Here's everything you need to know. Kickoff is at 5:30 Central Time on Sunday. So that's what you basically need to hear most is that 5:30 Central Time kickoff on Sunday. Coverage, this is a really unique situation where you've got NBC hosting the Super Bowl, NBC also hosting the Olympics. So on Sunday, I'm going to give these to you in Central Time. At 7 a.m. Sunday morning, the Winter Olympics. At 11 a.m. Central, Road to the Super Bowl. At noon Central, the pregame show kicks off. Then at 5:30, it's the Rams versus the Bengals in Super Bowl 56. At 9:45, the Olympics primetime show. Then the 2022 Winter Olympics Prime Plus show, 11:30 Central Time. I was reminded last night, and this will be even worse on Sunday. The Winter Olympics remind me so much of my childhood because in those days there was no, if you missed the Olympics, like there was no pause and scroll back. It was just, you had to watch it.
There was no such thing as Peacock.
That's right. And the late night Olympic show would come on. And especially on Sunday night, it just felt like you were squeezing every last ounce out of the weekend and staying up late watching some of these weird winter sports that we don't really know anything about. Because for the first 12 of the 24 winter games, the Americans weren't very good because we just didn't have that many places to train and to get good at it. So anyway, it'll be a long day of Super Bowl and Olympic coverage. Of course, the Bengals and the Rams will compete, but at halftime, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar.
You're asking me if I'm the one that is excited. I think your wife is probably even almost more excited than I am just for that part, right?
She's excited. She's excited for the halftime show without a doubt. I want to caution you all not don't overcook it. Like you need to come right in having expectations dialed in exactly. You don't want them to underperform. Mickey Guyton is performing the national anthem. Jane Aiko will sing America the Beautiful ahead of the anthem. You can watch it in several different places. Peacock has it, NBCSports.com has it, NBC Sports app. You can watch it over the air on Wave television out of Louisville.
Well, I do know that there are some rumors too that this will be Al Michaels' last game.
Really?
There have been some talks about that of him calling quits because it's interesting because you know where Al Michaels' first professional job was, right?
Was it in Litchfield?
It was the Reds.
It was the Reds.
It was the Reds because he was before Marty Brennaman.
That's a while ago. Al Michaels has always been good. Of course,
and then he went back to San Francisco.
Be involved in the Lake Placid and all that.
And then, obviously, his color analyst is Chris Collinsworth, who played for the Bengals. So you get multiple Cincinnati connections.
So how are they doing that? Is Tirico involved in Super Bowl coverage?
Tirico's is the James Brown equivalent. He's hosting the pregame and the
But he's hosting it from
L.A.
So Tirico's flying to L.A. and then back to Beijing?
No. He's. I read today or yesterday that he is leaving Beijing for good. And he's going to host the rest of the events remotely.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because, when he was there for the opening ceremonies the other evening, I didn't know Tirico was going, but there are more journalists there than I thought that there might be. How do you feel? Bengals 4.5 point dogs. You okay with that?
Joe Burrow is 6-0 this year when he's more than a 4-point underdog.
All right.
I like those odds. I like those odds a lot.
Mattress Mac has bet $4.5 million on the Bengals to win That make you feel good?
He also bet on them last week.
He did?
Didn't bet quite that much money, but he definitely bet on them last week.
But also you got to be careful because that might make you feel good as a Bengals fan. But the fact of the matter is that he's told all the people that buy furniture from him that it'll be free if the Bengals win. Mm-hmm. So this is a bet to cover what he owes.
Well, maybe I can go down there and get a couch and start burning couches in Clarkson if they win.
Maybe.
Am I allowed to do that?
You'll have to ask someone other than me.
You know the police chief.
That's between
Call the police chief.
That's between you and someone else entirely. Sam.
Call Chief Meredith.
Here are some facts to know before the Bengals-Rams game. The Super Bowl matchup between the Bengals and Rams marks the first time these teams have met in a championship. Mm-hmm. Not that much of a surprise. Both the Rams and Bengals originated in Ohio.
Correct.
The Cleveland Rams were founded in 1936. This is the first Bengals Super Bowl appearance since 1988, when they lost to the 49ers. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize this. Are you super happy the 49ers didn't win over the Rams?
Because it would be third time's the charm.
Okay, all right. I was
third
wondering.
Time's the charm. No, I wanted the 49ers because I think the 49ers are a better matchup for the Bengals.
Okay.
I would have felt much, much better against the 49ers. Even though the 49ers did beat the Bengals in December, but I'd have felt much better.
The Rams last won the Super Bowl in '99 when they defeated the Titans 23-16.
Ooh,
they were the greatest show on turf.
Don't you need to do a little bit of a warning there before you mention that to Titans fans?
Nah, that's all right. Both teams. It's been a long time. Both teams' quarterbacks are former number 1 overall draft picks
from the SEC.
Rams coach Sean McVay, 36, looking for his first Super Bowl win and to become the youngest coach to win the Lombardi Trophy. But Zach Taylor is 38, and that makes them the youngest pair of Super Bowl head coaches in the game's history. And then Taylor worked under McVay before becoming Bengals coach. Is that good? Is that bad? What do you make of it?
Yeah, I don't know that. I think even he said, don't read too much into it. They're still really good friends. Obviously not these 2 weeks.
Sure.
But I don't know how much you want to read into that because it's a different team since Zach Taylor was there. It's been almost 3 years.
And as you mentioned last week, as the official road team, even though they're playing at home, they're officially the road team. The Rams will call the coin toss before the opening kickoff. What will they call?
Tails never fails. That's what I say.
That's what you say.
Tails never fails.
Let's see. That's one of your early prop bets coming up on Sunday. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
We're a farm store, a family store. Look what I found store. We're a store made for real people and some real beasts. We're a hey neighbor kind of store and an everyday low price store. We're Rural King, and we're working hard to be your favorite store. Nobody beats our prices on all your favorites, like 50-pound bags of Sweet Feed, just $7.99, or Folgers coffee for just $6.99 a can. Stock up today.
As a nurse in an emergency department, no one knows better than me that car crashes happen. But what I don't understand are injuries and deaths that are 100% preventable. Like the injuries caused by folks who won't buckle up their seatbelts, or crashes caused by those who won't stop messing with their phones. So please, be safe, Kentucky. Buckle up and put the phone down.
Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Hear that? Is that America cheering or a sausage patty sizzling to perfection? It's time to cheer for Egg McMuffin and fresh cracked eggs at McDonald's. It's time to wake up to the aroma of freshly baked biscuits and treat yourself to a real honest-to-goodness morning meal. Breakfast, it's on at McDonald's. Choose any breakfast sandwich, buy one, get one free. Available only on the app. Price and participation may vary. McD app download and registration required. Single item at regular price.
The richest tradition in college basketball.
The most passionate fan base in the world.
Get the best coverage of your Kentucky Wildcats.
Long slam dunk!
Right here.
Hi, it's Tom Leach. Join me and the Wildcat Hall of Famer Mike Pratt for Kentucky basketball all season long. And join Dave Baker and another Hall of Famer, the Goose, Jack Gibbons, for our Don Franklin Auto Countdown to Tip-Off coverage. It starts 90 minutes before game time here on the UK Sports Network.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. Chilly weather's in the forecast for today, with highs mainly into the mid to upper 30s for most of us. At least we do get to enjoy some sunshine across the region for today. For tonight, cold again as we drop down into the teens and low 20s. We'll see a warming trend through the middle of the week with highs near 50 tomorrow. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed any help in any way. But now those days are gone.
Did you know
Not so selfish.
the original name
And now I find
for the butterfly was the flutterby?
Really?
And to me, that makes more sense.
I
If you
guess
look at the butterfly,
flutterby,
you
yeah.
think, what about a butterfly? What says butter about a butterfly? If you just look at a monarch butterfly.
Did they call a butterfly before they knew what butter was?
No, I would imagine not. But that's all they do is flutter. The thing they do is right there in the name.
But they also fly.
Flutter by. There's no butter flying.
Well, you know an English teacher. Figure out that.
Okay, I'm going to delegate that to others. The weekend box office, Jackwagon Forever. Is that okay? I'll just call it Jackwagon Forever.
That's Judge Crabessa, one of his favorite words, right?
Catapults to number one as Moonfall craters. Jackwagon Forever, the fourth installment in the ongoing saga of Projectiles to the Groin, collected $23.5 million from 3,604 North American locations in its debut. Given the light release schedule, Moonfall managed to place in second on domestic box office charts. The movie narrowly beat Sony's Spider-Man No Way Home at 3. That was Spider-Man No Way Home.
How was the midnight showing that you went and saw of that movie? Jackwagon.
I fell asleep in the parking lot.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was waiting to go in to buy tickets, and I fell asleep. The Batman is projected to open with a $150 million weekend in March. This is Robert Pattinson's attempt at playing Batman.
I honestly had no idea Robert Pattinson was getting ready to play Batman.
I guess he's already played him.
True.
Just we're waiting to see what it looks like.
I mean, he's fine.
And I got to tell you,
he's gone from Harry Potter to Twilight to Batman.
I didn't like Batman the television show.
Mm-hmm.
I only liked Batman from the 80s because of the soundtrack and Jack Nicholson playing the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I don't know that I've seen a Batman movie.
Dark Knight's really good. With Heath Ledger as the Joker, you've not seen that? That one's really good.
I don't even like the franchise. Like there's
And
just
see,
there's
and
just
the
something.
second one, The Dark Knight Rises, is really good because there's a scene where the Pittsburgh Steelers stadium gets blown up. It's a good scene to see.
If Prince hadn't done Bat Dance, I'm not so sure I would have liked or cared anything at all about that one.
Bat Dance, when last time you all were gone for a long period, I think it was Dennis Cook Week that we had over the summer. Bat Dance came on a lot, and you would have thought that we were playing the greatest hits. Dennis C. Cook loved himself some Bat Dance.
I like the song too.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was a huge fan. I just wasn't predicting that from him.
Adele residency ticket holders can see an Adele impersonator for free. If you can't see Adele due to her indefinite postponement,
I can see her whenever I want.
Never mind, we'll find someone like her. The Legends in Concert, the longest running and most awarded show in Las Vegas, has come up with a brilliant idea. You can just go see their impersonator of Adele instead.
Is that brilliant?
Yeah, I mean, leave it to Vegas. Capitalize on an opportunity.
Oh, yes, you just spent all that money to go fly to Vegas and stay there to watch Adele. Oh, let's just go see somebody that's not her.
But it makes for a great story. Legends is rolling out a spin-off production of sorts, Legendary Divas, and it's offering free tickets to Adele fans who purchase tickets to the singer's Weekends with Adele residency.
As someone that tried to buy those tickets, I would not be necessarily that happy if I,
Sure, but you can afford to give, think about the amount of publicity that this show is going to get by offering free tickets to those people who got.
I can see my mom anytime I want Adele.
By the way, I mean, I hear you sometimes deliberating on the order of your favorite Adele.
No,
I mean, it's not as night and day as you might think. I mean, obviously Adele Gormley is at the top of the list.
Well, yes.
But Adele Adkins isn't like she's not chopped liver. She's down there somewhere. This struck me as odd. Javier Bardem says E.T. was his childhood celebrity crush. In case you missed that. Javier Bardem says E.T. was his childhood celebrity crush.
Is it a joke?
He just said he loved Spielberg, got to meet him, loved the movie. I love Reese's Pieces too, but that doesn't mean I crushed on E.T. Gertie, maybe. But if you think some of the roles that Javier Bardem has played,
well, out there,
he looked a little like E.T. in some of those. So, I mean, hey, whatever. Float your boat. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
These days, the most popular commitment seems to be not to commit to anything, a career, a marriage, or becoming a parent. More and more, the one thing people want is options. Choosing not to commit can be both good and bad. On the positive side, we have more opportunities available to us than ever. 100 years ago, people couldn't travel the globe as easily as today. They couldn't choose between dozens of different jobs. And with no social media, they couldn't connect with people all over the world. Committing to things back then was easier because there were fewer options. By contrast, we're overwhelmed with choices today. So why commit to just one thing? After all, the more choices we have, the happier we'll be, right? Except that's not how life usually works. The more choices we have, the harder it becomes to commit to one thing and forsake all others. Commitment is ultimately what creates good things in life, instead of waiting for the right thing to come along. Committed people dig in and get to work making something happen. Renowned business consultant Peter Drucker once said, "Without commitment, there are only hopes and dreams, but no plans." Instead of searching the world for the perfect spouse, the perfect job, or the perfect cause to support, focus on what's right in front of you. Options can be beneficial, but success comes from commitment. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
Are you wondering if this year you'll still be asking why it seems so easy for other people to find love but so hard for me? If you're feeling the pain of being alone and are tired of everyone around you finding their soulmates and leaving you behind, then get ready to remove the barriers to finding the marriage of your dreams and start believing it's possible for you. Hi, I'm Jackie Dorman. Join me in my Married in 12 Months challenge, where I'll teach you why now is your time to find love. What are the lies that are holding you back? why God wants you to be married, the biblical law of attraction, and the tools you need to become a bride. Listen, if you deeply desire to be married but you're still single, you should be doing something about it. Sign up for my free Married in 12 Months 5-day challenge at lovestories.com. The only thing you have to lose is the pain of being alone on your journey. So join me at lovestories.com. That's lovestories.com.
We're a farm store, a family store, a look what I found store. We're a store made for real people and some real beasts. We're a hey neighbor kind of store and an everyday low price store. We're Rural King, and we're working hard to be your favorite store. Nobody beats our prices on all your favorites, like 50-pound bags of Sweet Feed, just $7.99, or Folgers coffee for just $6.99 a can. Stock up today.
Johnny was a schoolboy when he heard his first Beatles song. Love me do, I think it was, and from there it didn't take him long. Got himself a guitar, used to play every night.
MB's Point to
Now
Ponder
he's
for
in a rock
today.
and roll outfit and everything's alright.
Isn't it weird how children think adults have all the freedom and adults think children have all the freedom? I guess it just depends on
Your definition
of freedom. And most often, I think the freedoms that children are that they don't have, they covet, and then vice versa.
It's like when you were a kid, you always complained about nap time, and now as an adult, you'd love nap time.
I still apologize to naps once a week. I'm so sorry, naps. I'm so sorry that I didn't fully appreciate you and how wonderful you were. Sam, are you wordling yet?
No.
So
Nope.
Still no Wordle for you?
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I don't need another. I know it's only one a day, but I don't need another.
I discovered a new word to lead off with.
Okay.
Adieu. As in, I bid you adieu, because it's got 4 vowels in it. And so you can really reveal a lot.
Oh, A-D-O-U?
A-D-I-E-U.
A-O-I-E. Oh, I see what you're saying.
A-D-I-E-U is the word. And then that way, soar with an E on the end is a variation of soar. That also works. A rose is a pretty good word to start with. And by the way, none of the words currently on Wordle end in S. So don't even bother putting an S at the end.
Okay, so like a plural.
Exactly.
Faces or something.
Because
like that.
they're only 5-letter words.
Okay.
So it's hard to, it really limits, for it to be plural in most cases, it would have to be ES anyway.
Have you ever completely won? Can you completely win and get like all green?
Oh, on the first one? I mean, you get 5 choices. Then you get 5 chances. So that's the goal, and how few chances it takes you to do it. So no, I've never done it in less than 3 guesses.
Okay.
So I've 1 and then 2 and then usually on the 3rd guess, but out of that total. So just kind of as a. What about the Queen's Jubilee? So over the weekend, the Queen marked her 70th. That's hard to believe. Longest reigning British monarch in their 1,000-year history. 70 years. Now, they're not having a party for her until June. Makes me a little nervous.
Well, she's in good health.
Sure, Sam, but I mean, none of us are promised tomorrow. You're not promised tomorrow. I'm not promised tomorrow. QE2, she's not promised tomorrow. But I'm just saying, when you have the longevity of QE2, I think you stop making, like, you don't buy green bananas.
I'm with you, and I wouldn't buy any bananas. I think we're in agreement there, are we not?
Sure, I'm saying if you're a banana buyer, you just don't. It really is a remarkable story if you think about it.
70 years, that's a long time.
When she was thrown into such an early age, and how she's been able to navigate that all is really remarkable. On television tonight, NBC has the Winter Olympics, of course. Tonight, women's short track 500-meter final. Shoo, that's a real crash 'em up. That's just like roller derby. You may see a competitor on there trying to wear yellow roller skates. She may be disqualified. You got
From Pumpkin Center?
Blades, yes, representing the country of Pumpkin Center. Women's speed skating 1,500 meter final, freestyle big air final, men's alpine super G. I fell asleep late night trying to watch men's downhill yesterday. And, oh, wow. Women's hockey and pool play, USA versus Canada.
Ooh.
Those two don't like each other at all.
Rivalry.
That's a rematch of the gold medal game from 2018 from Pyeongchang. So, those are the best two women's hockey teams in the.
Surprised that they're in their
world.
same pool.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd. I don't know if they draw that out or how they do that, but I think there has to be a way
that they'll meet again in the gold medal game.
Yeah, I don't think there's I don't think they wouldn't allow them to knock one each other out and not get to a gold medal game. I wouldn't think. All right, today's highlight in history. This date in 1964, the Beatles arrived at New York's JFK Airport to begin their first American tour. President Kennedy imposed a full trade embargo on Cuba this date in 1962. Space Shuttle Challenger astronauts Bruce McCandless and Robert Stewart went on the first untethered spacewalk this date in 1984. The Sochi Olympics opened in Russia this date in 2014. 1 year ago today, Tom Brady led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 31-9 Super Bowl victory over the Chiefs.
It's a terrible game.
From Kansas City. We're going to Kansas City. Birthdays today. Comedy writer Robert Smigel is 62. TV Funhouse. Actor James Spader is 62 today. Garth Brooks is 60. Chris Rock is 57.
Now, does Garth Brooks, does he thank Jimmy Mattingly every day for making him famous?
He better. He better thank Jimmy Mattingly for letting him hang around.
Yeah, I mean, really.
And ride on his coattails. Ashton Kutcher is 44 today, and Isaiah Thomas is 33. That must be Isaiah Thomas Jr.
Now, has Ashton Kutcher, have they taken a shower yet? Remember that story from over the summer or whatever?
I would hope so. Yeah, it was back during it was back during wasn't it during the fall? Because when he went on game day, they started shouting at him, "Take a shower."
Yes, you're right.
Gone but not forgotten, Sir Thomas More in 1478, John Deere in 1804, Charles Dickens in 1812, Laura Ingalls Wilder in 1867.
It's a good one too, author.
That's a bunch of people you recognize. 1959, The Platters, number one. Smoke gets in your eyes.
Something here inside cannot be.
Let's go to 1968. Paul Marriott. Not affiliated with the hotel franchise. This is called Love is Blue.
It's something. No words?
Nope, instrumental. Didn't that sound like Love is Blue?
Did.
Of all the emotions.
Sounded like something.
Yeah. 1977, Manfred Mann and the Earth Band.
You could just play this the rest of the show.
It's a good song.
It's a really good song.
But people my age might not like me skipping this song. 1986. Wham.
Call me good, call me bad.
I'd rather you go back to Manfred Mann.
You take that back, Sam.
But I know that you're sad.
Don't be throwing shade at the late, great George Michael. Not your cup of tea, huh?
I mean, it's fine. It's not as good as...
It's like a vision of love.
1995, Real McCoy, Another Night.
Hey, do you think it's as good as Blinded by the Light?
They're incomparable.
Oof. Well, more than likely,
that's not.
I'll have Blinded by the Light on my playlist before I'll have Wham.
You can't compare the two. Like they don't go in the same bucket, so you can't even do that. Outkast, The Way You Move in 04, and the Lumineers, Oh Hey, #1 in 2013.
That's a good one.
9 years ago already.
I guess.
It's hard to believe.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's not a bad song at all. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today: hard work spotlights the character of people. Some turn up their sleeves, some turn up their noses, and some don't turn up at all. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes,